Gonna lie.
I totally understand, bro. Oh yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll trickle in. Give him a minute.
Trickle.
Some water here.
Bro, I just looked at the chat. He said no more Jalen.
Dude, while we wait for the listeners, Pierre sent over the agenda for today, and he's like, we'll touch on the Jalen Hurts craziness, and I'm like, dude, no more. And I texted him the other day too. It was on Twitter at like 9 a.m. 9 a.m. in the morning on like a Tuesday. Nobody really do some work if you have to, or just coast through the week. And I wake up and I just look at Twitter and it's just like Jalen Hurts is a top tier quarterback, won the Super Bowl. I'm like, dude, Pierre, it's okay. We're at peace now, bro. He won the Super Bowl. We're all good.
I got rage baited.
Listen, I'm sitting here like I'm all mature, but like I get it, dude. Sometimes it comes over you, but we don't need to entertain the haters anymore because rings talk, and not the nonsense. I think
the ring does speak for itself.
It does. I'm done. I don't.
What my boys say? What matters to you? Faith, family, and championships.
Dude, like it's just like I got it. The month after there's the deal for Discourse and stuff because everybody just wants to be a hater. But like, it's July. It's Julio. Am I right, Quell? Yes, I got no time for this. It's almost a new season. Why, dude? Go find God. Find God. I just But anyways, we got 13 people in here, so I think let's get started. Lucky number 13, of course. That was Aguilar wore 13 the year we won the Super Bowl. So we got that because he changed out of 17. So anyways, Philly Blitz Pod by 14th and Market. I'm Parth here with Pierre and Quell. How you guys doing, man?
Doing good, man. Training camp starts next week. I think was it next Monday or Tuesday?
Next week. That means we can start this conversation.
We can actually talk ball for real.
Oh man, we don't have to be scrounging for topics for the pod. Like, dude, what are we gonna talk about? Oh man, and Twitter will just like have actual things to talk about, dude. No more Huda. Who the hell are you?
Well, we love a dub to those who celebrate. It is the one and only Marquel Fripp on. I'm sorry if y'all see me looking around, looking lost. I'm looking like an old man right now. My computer updated itself. Nobody told it to do this, so I'm trying to figure out all the navigations to it. I'm looking at the StreamYard like, what the hell is this? This is
neighborhood boomer. The StreamYard does look different though. StreamYard looks different for me too.
I think they uploaded or updated the interface.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
they did. Okay. I also just saw we have a referral code for StreamYard, so just sent that over on Twitter. Yeah, but $10 discount. Anyways, summer pod. Things are sparse. If you're on Twitter, you're
dwindling down. I can see college football in
the It's close. We're at the point where I'm seeing tweets about how Superman is doing in China. I don't care. I don't care. All these, this is going to be like wrestling for you guys. Or when you guys talk about wrestling, all the Snyder fans and Gunn fans going at it, dude, just enjoy the damn movies. It was a good movie. Stop arguing about it. I'm really realizing that I'm probably just like, am I outgrowing Twitter? Am I just tired of everybody there?
Man, yells at cloud.
Dude, but that's what Twitter feels like to me. That's what Twitter feels like to me. It just feels like old man screams at cloud, over and over and over again. The magic is gone.
My man said, it's like missionary every freaking night.
I can't do it, man. Maybe the season will help, but like, I'm opening up Twitter out of just pure addiction at this point, to be honest. And it's probably time I just delete the app. It's probably better for my mental health. I'll have you guys.
We need it for the brand.
Yeah, dude.
We need.
What am I doing with my 400 followers? Nobody follows me for shit, dude. They follow you guys.
We find our interactions on the timeline. At least I do. I get on them. Like you say, you wake up on a random Tuesday morning and you whip your ass like, why is Parth arguing with what the hell is going on?
I get rage baited. Listen, it'd be like that, and that's why I can understand Pierre's. But I'm trying to help him grow. We're in places I can't grow. I want to help my brother grow.
Wait, so before we get off the Twitter topic, the biggest Twitter news of the day, what did y'all think about the CEO at the Coldplay concert?
I was dying at your comment because I'm at the damn gym and I have in the end I have numb encore in my ears as you're saying this, and I'm like, Pierre's talking about going to first up, like, okay, fine, like you're with a woman, take out the affair context. You're going to a Paramore or Linkin Park concert with a woman.
Paramore, yeah.
Paramore, sure. Linkin Park. Linkin Park, you want to be in the end, it doesn't matter. You're just gonna be like screaming in her face, dude. Like, listen,
that's how he was feeling. That's how his face looked. It doesn't even matter.
Oh, they had a well, it was Coldplay, but they had a fake like letter from him, like so someone made like a fake apology letter, and at the end they put the Fix You lyrics. They were like, "Lights will guide you home." Oh man, what a mess! They said that if he just didn't duck and just acted through it, he probably would have been fine. I mean, he literally said it was like,
it's like, bro, we saw you. Like, why are you ducking?
Why are you having an affair? What about that? Just
that too.
Just be an adult. You big bozo.
It's just my dog blew up his marriage at a Coldplay concert.
I mean, come on, these are controversial opinions I have, but like this just further reinforces the stereotype that HR is just like there, bro. Like, come on, man, y'all just make my life miserable, and you're going to concerts with your with your man. This is nonsense, dude. Christ, you tell me about you're not up to date on your training.
Apparently, neither are you.
Right. You're behind on your training now. I saw Twitter last night. Oh man, yeah, something new on Twitter every day, and that's probably why I'm addicted.
Behind you.
Oh my god, dude. All right. So the other big news of the week was this Joel Embiid article. That was hell of a read. First off, I mean the author just like artfully written. It was like one of those articles where you just like. He's just poetic with his words. I really enjoyed that, so I wanted to give him a shout out there. And I just think the outcomes from the articles is it just feels like one, it gave people some perspective on Joel, which is like what I think people who root for Joel as it is. These are some of the things that people have been saying, right? Like I mean I know people are tweeting about. Well, I'll get to that in a second, but I think it helped people understand what a lot of the people who support him so vehemently believe, where it's just like there's just been so much bullshit in the building with the Sixers, man. They had an intern in charge of his knee and his injury at first. Like Sam Hinkie's talking about like, this is going to be like a generational player when they're looking for medical staffs in the future, but in the beginning they're using an intern, like your top overall pick in the process. It's just it's nonsensical. But I also think the other side of it is it just allowed people to also get what they want out of it, right? Like if you're an Embiid hater, you just got out of it, friend of the pod, Cliff, Embiid hater right now. There's no question. Looking at his tweets, I'm like, bro, come on, man. He's on the team, Cliff. There's nothing we can do about it. But it's fair because you can read the article and you can have that read as well, where it's like, well, he didn't take care of his body at first, right? He admitted to it. And I think it's a valid criticism. Where I disagree with, just writing him off and being like, all right, well, it's done, it's just like it just clearly feels like Joel's just like, he did this interview, he's coming off this surgery, it just feels like he wants a fresh start, and he wants to do it right. And we have that kind of in the building. Now, obviously, they didn't fire Eric Gordon or release Eric Gordon, so I guess it's going to be half of a fresh start.
Are we really sure he was the league though?
He's been the league on multiple teams, is what I've seen. So it's kind of been like par for course for Eric Gordon to do that type of thing. And the way Embiid kind of said, he wouldn't say that he wasn't on the team anymore.
You could kind of, from what I was reading, you could kind of pick up with and it kind of correlates to without getting to it. I'm gonna let you finish the second part, but just how everything that we've seen in Sixers world, how it all kind of correlates and turns back to each other as some way, shape, or form. And at least in this instance, all I see is I'm reading this, and all I see is James Harden running around like Daryl Morey is a liar. And I mean, Embiid wouldn't flat out say it was Eric Gordon, but if you picked up what he was putting down, it was probably a bit of a, well, I'm not going to say this guy is or isn't on the team. Free agency has to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's back because he's a Daryl Morey guy. So
that was similar to the read I kind of got, where it was just like he wasn't willing. He was non-committal about it, and I know some people were like, "Oh, it's like Maxey or something like that." But
Justin Edwards,
yeah, who knows? But like I think Joel has taken a lot of the young guys under his wing, which was also talked about in the article. Because the other thing that I got out of that article and what I wanted to get back to is just that I think it represented the growth that we've seen out of Joel, right? Like we've seen it on the field or on the court where he's just become this unbelievable talent, right? He said it himself. I only thought I was going to be a defensive player. And then I'm like, okay. And then you get one of the greatest bags as a big man of all time. Sure, bro. Sure. Why not? Like, you saw that growth of him as a player, but then you also saw it of him as a leader. And we've seen that on the sides. And, I've been critical of Joel in big moments. Like his body language is losing. And that's why, somebody like Maxey has been so important, because it's not just about Maxey getting mentorship from Joel about the league, but you can always learn from people younger than you as well. And I think that's been something there as well. And I think with these new guys that they have in the building, with the exception of whoever the hell the snitch is, which we'll just leave that there. It just feels like they just want to see how it's going to go. Let's just last year was such a wash, bro. Like it really was just a wash. We had Joel's injury. We had a suspension because Marcus Hayes has his brother's name in his mouth, his son's name in his mouth. Like it was such a bizarre season. Yeah, it's like weird to say you're attached to these players that you don't know. Sure. But at the end of the day, I don't think so, because we watch them every day. We put our time into watching these people grow. There's a reason that we care so much about Jalen Hurts, is because we've watched him. We rooted him on. And I think it's normal to take personal stake in that. We don't have to be like, oh, you don't know these players. Yeah, you don't know these players, but you can still care about them, care about what they mean to you. That nobody can take that significance from you. And I think we shouldn't forget that. That's what makes sports special. That's what makes AI such a special character in this community. That's what makes Brian Dawkins such a special character in this community. And Joel is not without his flaws, but that guy has given this city everything, and it seems like he just wants to keep going. He wants to figure it out. So I'm here. I'm here. Like I want him to figure it out. I don't want the Sixers to fall apart, bro. And I think the Sixers' best chance at winning right now is with Joel Embiid healthy as well. It's not just going to be, oh, let the guards just go and play, because like, yeah, it's like fun and exciting, but like, dude, you're also going to need a big man. You're going to need a generational player there. Maybe he doesn't need to take on as big of a role, which is a conversation that can be had. And it's kind of talked about in the article as well. Like he's like, yo, put me on a minutes restriction. He's damn near begging for it.
He's basically like, I mean, kind of, how would I be viewed if, instead of doing what I do and dominate the regular season and then try to be this team first guy in the playoffs, what if I just coasted through the regular season, averaging 20, 23, 25, and then the playoffs come and I'm averaging 30, and it's, Joel Jordan is the term he used in the article. But like, it kind of, to piggyback off a lot of what you said, Parth. Like,
yeah, I'm done. So y'all go ahead.
You pointed out the fun watching him grow as a player, the fun watching him grow just as a personality. The person is what I came most intrigued by with walking away from this article. Just, I mean, from a young man who everything was thrown at him so fast, man, so fast. He started playing basketball at 16? The same young man that there's the video of him, and
it's so funny, bro, under the basket, like
yeah. Like, we know how bad it was at just an early age for him to turn himself into not just a competent basketball player, but someone who was a projected first round pick. And it's kind of funny when you listen to, when you read the article and you listen to both the Arthur and Joel Embiid talk about Embiid itself, where you can tell that he's at a different place mentally. There's a self-belief that he has that it wasn't there at first. This is the same young man when he told Bill Self, I don't know if I'm ready. I can't eat healthy enough. I don't even know how to drive. And they talking about me being the first pick in the draft. What I should come back to school. And I'm sure Bill Self looked at him like, no, you're leaving. Go. Get out of here. But just even aside from that, man, like how you pointed out Tyrese Maxey, shout out to Tyrese Maxey, because that's another thing I had written down where it was Joel has always been true to himself. We talked about how extroverted he's been from the team, specifically last year when Maxey pointed out how he's been late to things, or there were some things he just didn't show up to. And in hindsight, well, in the moment, it's so easy for us to criticize him, like, you're the leader, Joel, you should know better, blah, blah, blah. But then in hindsight, when you read the article and you realize, like, this was always Joel. This is, even when he first got to Kansas, he didn't want to be in the room. Well, not Kansas, when he got to Mount Verde, and he didn't want to be in the dorm rooms with the team. He asked them, could they put him in a room with another exchange student who spoke little English, because he just don't want to communicate with people. He would much rather be by himself. And it's been multiple times in the article that they talk about how he purposely excluded himself from things where you can tell that that's just his MO. That's Joel Embiid as a whole. So to see Tyrese Maxey kind of try to not just snap him out of that as a person, but what I would like to say is to try to create a winning culture around Joel Embiid, because from what it sounded like, it seemed like while Joel could have been better for a lot of things in himself at a young age, the people that were around him really didn't do him any justice. And it's not like, I mean, outside of the Sixers, they failed him completely. But it's not like it wasn't without effort. Like the coaches at Mount Verde, they tried. Bill Self and them, they tried. Even his parents, well, not his parents, but the people that took
the ones
him
in
on,
Florida.
that took him
I
on
think it was
parents.
just he just was moving so much. You know, it's like think about Maxey, right? Like a kid who grew up on the AAU circuit, you know, then goes to Kentucky, you know, plays for John Calipari. Like, you know, you have you that just like you see how to win. You know, you come from this like life of just like, hey, basketball and hoops. This is my life. This is how you do it. And you're seeing it at like the highest levels. Joel came over at 16, bro. Like, imagine where you were at 16 years old and then leave your entire family, come to America because people are like, oh, you're really good at this, but you yourself don't think you're that good. You're like, really? Like me? Like he's talking in the article, he's talking about like, I'll get a normal job after 4 years of college. And everyone's like, dude, like the way you're moving is not normal, dog. But he has no idea, you know. And so he was at every place for so short of time. He wanted to stay in Kansas with Bill Self for a year longer because he had the, you know, wherewithal and personal understanding. He'd be like, hey, I'm not ready yet, you know. And so it's tough when you bounce around and then you go to somewhere like the Sixers where there is nothing solid in place, and they're looking to you. And I'll let you take over there.
That's the most frustrating part, because like I said a second ago when I brought up the Daryl Morey thing, where I mean, like I said a second ago about Embiid, there's a lot that Embiid could have done different and better about the circumstance. There's a lot that Ben Simmons could have done better and different about the circumstance. But forget it. I'm going to say it the same way I had it written down. Please don't find us. These dipshits over here in this front office think that instead of figuring out how to help a player mature, the best way to help him figure it out is by hitting his pockets and finding them. And both Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid sat there and told you, I don't care. Take your money. I'm not coming. Or I'm not going to do what you want me to do until you get the message that how y'all operating isn't successful and isn't going to work. And it's like a merry-go-round looking at the same thing over again. It's like,
it's interesting
you brought up Ben. When do you learn, man?
It's interesting you brought up Ben because he did the same thing, and it kind of puts a different light on it. Like, where because I mean I didn't know all the details about like he was like they were treating him completely wrong, you know, on his foot, and he knew something was wrong. Like I knew he had like the re-break and everything, and there was something wrong with it, but I didn't know the extent of like the damage that the building was doing, right? And so,
and to that point, like I think, you know, we were joking when we first started the pod about the whole Coldplay and the marriage and that situation, but like at the foundation of any relationship is trust, right? And you know, from day one, it just seems like the relationship between Joe and the Sixers, from an organizational standpoint, has been fractured. Like there's been no stability, no trust on either end. Like you read the article they're talking about, there's people in the building who Joe felt like didn't have his best interests at heart. Joe himself, when he was injured, I think they said he just basically locked himself in his hotel, in his apartment or whatever. Didn't trust anybody, didn't talk to anybody. So like that stuff festers, man. That stuff festers. And like when you just talked about it, Cuba, when you look at the Sixers from an organizational standpoint, like it just seems like with all the people that have been in and out of the building, whether it's Sam Hinkie, Colangelo, Brett Brown, Doc Rivers, Daryl Morey, and Nick Nurse now, like
Hey, brother,
there's
up
just
a level. Go up a level, because we're already seeing it happen on his other team.
Josh Harris,
Go
yeah. There's just never been stability. It's always just been the rotating door of instability around them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you read about the pressure he's felt not only to play and, while he's hurt and just different things of that nature. It just makes you, feel for the guy. And like you said, Q, like Joe isn't innocent in all of this. Like the dude knows he needs to be a better leader. He knows, from a dietary standpoint, he hasn't been the best, right? Like all of these things are true, but at the same time, it's just like the entire thing, it just seems like from the jump it's been fractured.
You and here, let me drop a little SAT word on y'all real quick. You juxtapose the Sixers situation with the Eagles building, and it just couldn't be more different. Because I just wanted to bring it up because you talk about the stability, right? The Eagles have had Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman there since I was in high school, and you know what I mean? And even then there were like 2 years where it wasn't them. And before, it's just kind of been them. There's stability. The team has an identity, and this team has not had an identity. And that's what's been nice about getting guys like VJ, getting guys like Tyrese, Jared, because they're identity builders, they're culture builders, and they've been really, really good at that. And that's why it feels like, the vibes have been good. We've been losing, but like the vibes are good around the team for some reason. And it's like, why? And it's just because they play with effort. They know that like they're playing for each other, and they're just trying to build something together. And I think there's something to appreciate about that. It's just sad, man, because the Sixers, like you said, there just was a lack of trust from the beginning. I mean, Joel's brother passes away, right, which is just like unimaginable pain. He had nobody to turn to. I mean, he was just like hanging out in his hotel room by himself. Like, I mean, you just put yourself in that position. And it's just kind of like, yeah, no shit, he's eating bad. Like, I'm sorry. Like that's a normal human reaction. His brother just died. He didn't get to meet him. He didn't see him for years. I'm so close to my brother.
They didn't see each other in 3 years.
3 years, bro, and they were supposed to see each other, but he couldn't see him because of his damn foot. Like, can you imagine like the mental like pain that puts on somebody? It's just it's too much. And then you wonder why somebody just feels like breaking and they just don't like have it. These things affect you, and when you don't have stability around you, it only gets worse, because then, oh, look, he gets a guy like Jimmy who he really hits it off with and things really seem to work. Okay, Jimmy's gone. All right, hey.
But to that point, I'm going to push back here a little bit.
Yeah.
Joe has said he doesn't want or didn't want saying personnel, right? To me, it's like, how can you say you don't want to have a say in personnel, but then you complain about the whole continuity aspect? It's like you can't.
I think the way he talked about it is like it's immature, right? Where it's just like, I don't want control over it because like I want it. It's immature, but it's also like, hey, like he just wants the team to just function correctly, but he also doesn't want like the shit that happened with Harden, right? Like he's genuinely heard about that still. It's been 2 years and he's talking about like, James and I don't talk. And he thinks that I had something to do with that, but I didn't, and that's what he wants to avoid. But it's also like, hey, like just build a team around me, stop rotating everything all the time. Like have an idea and then let's go with that, instead of like, hey, every year here, Joe, like we're going to try to play a different type of basketball again every year. Or like, for years where it's just like, hey, we have a player who just won't shoot the ball. Like we're going to just do mental gymnastics to try to figure it out. Right. And so there's just been so much dysfunction. I think that's like all you can really get out of the article is just like, wow, this is so dysfunctional. To me, the solution was not like, all right, trade everybody. Let's shred it to the ground. To me, it's like, all right, it's all out there. Figure it out, and I think that's just there's validity to both approaches. I can understand cleaning house and being frustrated with everything, but there's been a lot invested into here. And sure, you can talk about the sunk cost fallacy, but at the end of the day, Joel, last time we saw him healthy was playing at a historic pace, like greatest center season of all time pace. You should 40, 50, 90, you have to see what you have with that. You have to try to make it work. Give him a minutes restriction. Figure it out. Don't let him run himself into the ground, because at the end of the day, he's a competitor too, and he'll say it himself. He wants somebody to stop him. He was begging for somebody to stop him in the Knicks series. Nobody, like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, yeah, he's a competitor, but just like look out for him. Just be a good building. I don't know, like, why we're having to like describe everything you're supposed to do as like as a smart front office, but like, you know, just don't be idiots, you know, or as Quell said, don't be dipshits, you know, like it's really not that difficult, man. Just most other teams are doing it. It's just crazy that the Sixers are doing it at such a substandard level. And the fact that they've gotten so much winning out of this kind of situation speaks to how talented the players are, bro. Because this type of dysfunction sounds like the Wizards and Hornets, dude. And we've been in the playoffs. You know, we've had an MVP. That kind of is kind of nuts when you compare the two. Like successful teams don't have buildings and front offices that operate this way. And I've been a Daryl Morey supporter, but like he's not beating the numbers allegations with bringing somebody like Eric Gordon back, if that's a snitch, you know, whoever it is, you know,
Daryl
if you're
Morey,
bringing him back, like, bro.
Daryl Morey general manages basketball like Howie Roseman pre broom closet. That's what I'll say. Yeah. Like if you read the reports on him, he doesn't know how to talk to people.
Dude, maybe even pre Jalen Reagor. I think it was the Jalen Reagor pick, because it's very similar actually. It's a good way to put it, where it's just like he knows like he knows the numbers, the analytics behind it, but he's not trusting the gut feeling. And as soon as Howie Roseman was able to balance the hey, go with your gut a little bit and go with the analytics, there's been this boom of talent on the Eagles. And it's just frustrating because Daryl does draft well, bro. Like there's no question about it. All our draft picks have been really good. A Dumbona second round pick has turned out to be like a pretty good, you know, backup center, and for what we ask of him. Seems like this year we've made some good picks too. So I don't know. I hope he figures it out, but I don't know. What's to say, Quell? I can't read it, bro.
Daryl Morey is a liar. That's it. That's all. There is no more to this.
But no, I do think, like, just to comment on the article itself, I think the author, I'm gonna try and say his name, Dotun Akintoye. I think that's how you say it. But he did an amazing job humanizing Joe, because, you know, we like to talk about it all the time, but just with us as Philadelphia sports fans and sports fans in general, I think sometimes, you know, we forget, like, inside of the jerseys, they're human beings, right?
Ooh,
and so
this is a good segue.
Yeah, I think, you know, reading the article, you got to see kind of the real Joel Embiid, right? Like he was vulnerable, he was honest, introspective, he took accountability, all of those different things. But yeah, I just think, you know, the kudos to the author, did an amazing job.
This was an excellent segue to our next topic. As you said, sometimes, I mean, we discuss it, but I think it's easily forgettable that beyond the jerseys, beyond the fandom of the game, that these people are human beings, and there's a human aspect to it that doesn't get discussed. And CJGJ and his episode of the Pivot podcast, that was a very interesting.
As a fellow crash out, you cannot be held liable for something you say on live, bro. Sometimes you just say things and you don't know what you're saying. It happens. I got my CJGJ jersey in the closet. All right, I never threw it out. Bro. I knew you were just emotional, CJ. I knew it. But I mean, that's a great segue, and you're totally right, Quell. He's hurt. His feelings are hurt, bro. He just won the Super Bowl. Like it's valid, dude. It sucks. Like my feelings are hurt.
Like wait, before you go, Park, like to hear him talk about how like he was planning to make Philadelphia his home, right? Like his family, like he's talking about how he had just got his family all back together and his aunts and grandma and all of that and everything. And so you do understand, you know, the emotional side of it. You do understand that.
Hold on, to lighten the mood a little bit, because I mean this is a pretty dark conversation. Hey man, I'm not sure if all you guys picked it up when he said it, but he's like, and then you hear the phone ringing, all you hear is the hey buddy. I dial. Like he like, oh, you know, he about to spit some shit. It's about to be some shit with this. Anytime he called him, ain't that, you know, he about to try to swirl you with something.
It's that meme about like white people don't have many slurs, but they got buddy. They got money.
Dog.
Dude, it's just listen, CJ. You can love Philly, brother. We like you're good here. Nobody cares, man. It's fine. You're on an AFC team. Keep the family here, bro. Philly's a great city to raise a family. You got NFL money, bro. You can do the JJ Redick with Houston and Philly.
Nah, because even then, when you listen to him talk, like on the podcast, it's like he spent so much time. He already has family in all these cities that he's trying, and he, like he said, he didn't feel like he had his family back together until they won a Super Bowl. I mean, to be able to do that in New Orleans, an aspect that was underrated in it. But like, I get him, especially the part where you sitting there, like, I mean, you sitting there, and I mean, you sitting there talking to these people, kids, and he didn't say it by name, a person by name, so he really could have been talking about anybody. But I mean, just given the circumstance and how much time these people spend with these people and their family, it sucks to hear him say how you sit there and you try to build a bond with his kids and his family, like he'll be there for a while, and then he say you call, like he tried to call Nick didn't answer, and you try to call Dom, and Dom didn't answer, and it's like, especially when you hear like this, it's the most humanizing part about it, or dehumanizing part about it, because we love to sit here and talk about how great a franchise the Eagles are, how well run that they are, how Big Dom he'll die for you if he has to in this city. He will always make sure you're taken care of. But then when you're not their issue anymore, it's like,
hey, hold on, wait. I'm lighting the mood again. You remember the what's the dude that be playing Madden? What's the dude that be playing Madden? Janky Rondo.
Yeah.
You remember when he did the little voiceover drink when he put the camera on Sirianni? He was like, "We're the Philadelphia Eagles. We do the thing. We get the guys in here. We ship them out the next.
Put them on 1-year deals.
On 1-year deals."
Might be like that. That's screwed up, bro. I'm actually just extremely disappointed to hear that. Like, just the least you can do for somebody, especially for somebody who's preaching bullshit about family all the time, pick up the damn phone. Like, just have the conversation. That's cowardice. That's pure cowardice. I don't like that at all. That's not how you have those. That's not how you handle those situations.
It's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's so much middle being played in the whole circumstance. Like, I mean, of course, shout out to Reed. They played together. They're gonna have a great relationship. But Reed inviting him to the wedding, Joe Casper inviting him to his wedding was an interesting one. I believe Joe Casper got married probably like 2-3 weeks ago. It was 2 weddings that day. I think that was the day that Sidney Brown
went to both
weddings.
right,
yeah. So, but
hey, bro, how did you find it? How did you find that out about Joe Casper?
You probably saw an Instagram story.
Tweet about it?
Well, Reed had to go to 2 weddings, right? There was that tweet about it. Or not? Sorry. Sid went to 2 weddings in one day.
I see what's going on.
No, yeah, but like with players, it's different. But like, to me, as the head coach, the least you can do is pick up the phone, bro. Like that's.
It's like,
maybe he's busy, but like, give him a call back.
Especially for someone who preaches family and connecting and
connection
all those
and
different things.
And if especially someone like Nick, who was crashed out on the sidelines as much as CJ. Like, come on, bro. If there's anybody who's as much of a crash out as you in that locker room, it is. You two are cut from the same cloth, brother. Like, it's not much different, man. So you should like just.
I mean, yeah, but nah. Like, I don't know, man. It's fun getting the opportunity.
I don't know. Well, you have to remember he's a head coach acting like this. Like, Nick was out of pocket as a player if he's acting like this as an NFL.
Okay. They probably have a similar qualities, but I don't think. Nah. They ain't cut from the same cloth.
I don't
see Nick Sirianni telling God that.
I saw Nick Sirianni yelling at fans. I saw Nick Sirianni pointing at fans in their face. I told you. I saw him after a game for Shane Steichen, who sucked in Indianapolis, to be like, "This is for Shane. You did this for Shane." The man is a crash out, bro. Certified crash out.
Trust me, I know. I'm listening, but I mean, between the whole thing I just sat here and said about CJ, and I think he was talking about Gronk in that circumstance. But he was like, I don't care if you told me to line it up with God. I'm going to tell him get across there, and you're not better than me.
Have you seen the picture of Nick Sirianni at Mount Union?
Yeah.
He's saying the only person covering him is God. I promise you. I have seen that type of white boy at receiver. That's a dangerous archetype. That's a dangerous archetype, bro. I'm not.
Why I'm giving so much pushback? It's just the man, brother, to hear him talk about the whole Saquon Barkley discourse, like how day one
Wait,
they
which
all
one?
come out there.
Who talking about what Saquon Barkley discourse? Sorry,
CJ.
Okay.
And how day one they basically Nick told him, let's go live, let's go do the thing. We in pass, let's have some fun. And I mean, you know what that mean, but you don't know what that mean. Like if we laugh, like let's do it. But you also can't take out the money. And it was a couple plays, one where he flew through the gap and he would have lit Saquon up. Well, he believed he would have lit Saquon up because Saquon, by his words, he said Saquon looked at him and said, "Hey, CJ, basically, hey boy, you can try that if you want." But then he said it was a couple plays later. It was like a 4th and 1, and or a 4th and something, and they lined up at empty, and he just knew that quarterback draw was coming. And he ran downhill with the fury of 1,000 men, and of course he didn't hit Jalen Hurts, but he sat there. And he said that he envisioned Saquon Barkley in that moment, like basically, if this can happen to you on 4th and 1, buddy. And then to translate to the whole Bijan Robinson moment, where during the Falcons game, where he really met him in that gap on a game. Well, I wouldn't say a game-changing play, but for lack of a better term, a game-changing play at that point in time in the game, where he said he went back to the sideline and was like, "Hey Saquon, that wasn't Bijan right there. That was you." Like basically, I remember day one where you told me I ain't lining up in that gap, and even if I did, I couldn't take you. I hope you know who you talking to. Like this guy, he built different. You know that. That's your Florida guy, man.
Dude,
but this guy cut. He cut.
I 100% agree, but that's why I'm saying, like, dude, I appreciate Nick in the same light. That's my point, bro. Shane Steichen got fired like weeks earlier.
Frank,
Maybe. What did I say? Nick, right? What did I say? I don't even know.
You mean Frank, right?
What did I say?
You said Shane.
Oh yeah. Frank Wright got fired like weeks before that, and he's out there like, "This is for Frank. This is for Frank," yelling at fans, bro. It's just it. That's why they liked each other. That's all I'm saying. We can agree to disagree, but I gotta say, man, I have to put Nick at top tier crash out level. You know, like when they do the ranking things, they got the S, A, B, C. Nick and Nick, Jalen, Carter, of course, and CJ S tier, right there at the top. I got them all right there, with Clint Hurt holding him back. You're on mute, bro.
Hey.
You're on mute.
That would never not be funny, buddy. Like that would never not.
Just like manic look in his eyes. He's like,
that's almost as hilarious as the I know y'all seen the video of Richard Sherman taunting Trent Williams. He's like, "Yeah, what?" Trent Williams punched him in the face.
Hey,
Richard Sherman was crazy, bro. I'll never forget. That's what happens when you strike with a sorry ass receiver like Crabtree. I will never forget that, dude. Unbelievable interview.
White lady was out there like, "What are you talking about?"
She said, "Who was talking about you?"
That was a time in history, bro. That Legion of Boom team was fun, bro. Like that was real hoops. That was fun.
But hey, bro, if CJ would have actually hit Jalen Hurts, like I want us to think about that for a second, bro. Like imagine if like he actually like ran through him.
I don't know.
We would have had this conversation. We would have had this conversation about like 9 months ago, bro. He wouldn't be on the team, dog.
Me and Parth, we agree about a lot of things about the whole ball playing aesthetics and all that. But Parth, where we separate is Parth was an offensive guy. He was a receiver. He was one of those down and dirty receivers. Don't get me wrong. But I played defense. And the one thing I hated more than anything in this world is when coaches tell you we going live, but get mad at you for going live. Like basically, I mean, yeah, I want us to go full speed, but I need to figure out if the offense will work. Do that on your own time, buddy. You said we're going live.
I did feel bad for defense, bro. It was just like y'all, you're just at a disadvantage constantly. Like you're already at a disadvantage on defense. You don't know what the play is going to be, but then it's like, hey, like we're going to go 100, but you go 3/4 speed. It's like, but it's fine though. It's fine. Just don't even think about it too much. Just go with it. It's okay. Unfortunate, man. Yeah, if he had hit him, he probably would. He'd probably be under the link. Like, if we're being honest, Dom would have buried him.
You know what? Like, me visualizing that. You know what that just reminded me of? You remember in Friday Night Lights when I don't remember which season it was, but when a coach came off the sideline.
Oh yeah, that was when he was with the Panthers, or when he was with like the red team, right?
It's like that's
that was Michael B. Jordan at quarterback, right?
I think so.
Yeah. That was a good TV show, man.
Amazing TV.
Good TV. That's good TV. So dramatic. Good TV.
But before we move on to our final topic and get out of here, just a few things that I got from there. First and foremost, wow, they was really gonna cut, bro. That's crazy. That's absurd.
And I think that's how you know, like them saying, oh, they traded him for cap reasons. That wasn't true. Like they just didn't want him on the team.
It's BS. Extra points for. I wrote this down first. I'm glad I listened because I got my answer 2 seconds later. But the rookie that went to Darius Slay about having to pick up some weights. Josh Jobe, my friend. There are a million things I could say about you right now, but I'm gonna take the high road, my brother.
Isn't that a Virginia kid?
Nah, he's from, get this, Florida. Miami. Just like the guy that told him, pick up the weights. And you sitting here, like CJ was like, yeah, like, I don't know about y'all, but like in the Saints, rookies, they are responsible for making sure weights go back the way they're supposed to go, but this, that, and the third. And I know for a fact it's happening across the league because he didn't even get to finish his sentence before Ryan Clark was like, yeah, I get you. Like, basically, it was happening on my team. I had to do it. It happened to him, and him. So who the hell does Josh Jobe think he is? If you don't grab them weight, talk about some, he went to Darius Slay. And then the fact that it turned into such a big thing like it did, like, oh, get the hell out of here.
So to play devil's advocate, still a line from UQ, maybe Jobe felt some type of way because CJ was still new to the team.
I don't give a shit.
No, I mean, no, I know. I'm just saying, like the alternate.
No, there's no alternate. Pay your dues. I don't give a shit. I was a freshman. I paid my dues. Pick up the damn weights. I don't want to hear about
all of them. Everybody. The fact that you went out there and you pulled that whole. I mean, I just don't like the way he was talking to me, Card. Like,
he's just not a football team.
Are you not a cornerback?
I'm sure Nick Saban was so nice to you. Nick Saban was probably like, "Hey, Josh, bud, you think you can grab those weights right there and put them on the rack? I think it'd be really nice of you if you could do it."
Come on, man.
What the hell out of here?
Act like that. This is what you're accustomed to,
big baby. My God, yeah. No, yeah, that's nonsense. But yeah, it's unfortunate the way it all ended. But at least we ended with the ring. Speech was disappointing. He got too drunk. Clearly, he didn't have it. I thought there'd be more magic at the parade, but hey, it'd be like that.
Gas first,
huh?
He needed to hit the gas first. He
would have just been up there like, go Birds. Anyways, whatever. We want a ring. We gotta look towards the future. They Makuba and Jihad Campbell are working out.
Makuba needs to sign that damn contract.
I'm tired of this, man. What the hell? It was the Chargers, right? Who gave the?
Remember who it was? They gave the guy the guaranteed contract.
The guaranteed contract, brother. What are y'all doing, man?
I mean, I never get mad at a person getting his money.
For a second round pick, I am a little mad, bro, because now everybody else, I'm waiting on everybody else because nobody else is going to get a guaranteed contract. Are we going to just sit here?
I think 2 players got guaranteed contracts, and I think somebody else just signed. I don't remember who it is, with another second round pick. I know RJ Harvey signed a deal.
But it wasn't fully guaranteed.
Yeah, he signed a deal a few hours ago. The person I'm talking about, they signed a deal. Bro. I think they got a deal for $20 million, and it was 16 guaranteed. So
you're making a ton of money unless you suck. Like, just have some damn faith in your skill too, bro. Like, it's like if you're starting off your career on this note, like, just doesn't.
Keep y'all foot on their neck, man.
No,
change the market.
No,
get your dollars.
Go to practice. Go to practice. Listen. If you're what's his name? The Bengals. Shamar
Stewart.
That is a whole nother mess, bro. Like, and especially with a team like the Bengals, who is like notoriously bad about not taking care of your players. I understand that. But the rest of these teams, if you're an Eagles player, dude, just sign the damn contract. You know you're going to be taken care of on this team unless you suck.
Just sat here and watched the last safety get traded.
You sucked in a lot of different ways, bro. Like I love CJ, but like he was also insane. You know, if you just aren't a crash out and you just come and do your job, the Eagles will take care of you. They've shown it over and over again. I just think like if you're just like, oh yeah, I'm just not going to sign my contract. I need it to be, fully guaranteed, and everyone else on your team has signed your contract.
I mean,
it's kind of like
in the instance, it's a good two-way street. I mean, he's been out there for every camp and everything that has happened.
As long as he's not
that as
fine, but like
unsigning player. So
I just once the season starts, nobody wants to deal with this. Nobody wants to hear about it. And if you're the only rookie who hasn't signed your contract, it's gonna make you stick out as well. It's just like, all right, bro. Like, can we get to business? Because that is stopping everything else at the end of the day. And if you're gonna, hopefully he continues to come to practice. But then if he gets into holdouts and everything, you're a rookie coming in. You need to get all the reps you can. I just think.
Side note, I don't know. I got to check on how. I got to go talk to some people who know some things. But I heard from somebody somewhere that sounded like Shamar Stewart.
He's back practicing.
He's going back. Yeah, he's been at all the spring practices. He didn't go to any of the Bengal stuff. He went to Texas A&M practices.
Yeah,
I think he's just going to opt out, dude. I think he'll just play another college season.
I got to figure out how this works. He didn't sign the contract.
Yeah, I think so. What I read, and I don't remember exactly, but from what I remember from what I read, is basically that if he doesn't sign his contract and it continues on, he is allowed to opt out of the draft and just go back to college, and he can just.
So he doesn't have to sit out a year?
I don't think so. I think he can just go back to college and just play the year. I don't know all the details because this is obviously such a unique situation. Has this happened before? Do you guys know? Like, has it gotten to this bad?
I don't think so.
Like a boiling point, bro. What are the Bengals gonna do, right? Because did they sign? What's his name yet?
Hendrickson.
No. So, what is their plan at edge? They got Shamar Stewart to put pressure on Hendrickson, and now both of them are signing.
they about to have me and you out there, brother.
Listen, just like give me some of like the gear that comes with the NFL locker room, some of the nice shit. Like I'll play for like $20 a day or something. Like just let me get the experience.
$20 a day is crazy.
Man,
you don't love the game like me, Pierre. You don't love it like me. Let me put my hand in the
ACL, but he can be like, yeah, I got that $20 a day. They still pay me too. I'm on injured reserve right now.
Oh, the Bengals wouldn't pay you anything, brother.
The Bengals are like, yeah, you could pay us $20 if you want to pay.
Yeah, so since this didn't go right, you want to refund the money that we gave you.
I feel bad for Bengals fans, bro. And then you got this dumbass picture of Joe Burrow in a goddamn suit.
I am so sick. I am so sick of the Joe Burrow, the whole.
But did you know he smoked cigars?
Joe Burrow.
Have you seen that GIF of him doing like the spinning throw though, bro? Like that's aura, bro. Like totally, dude.
And
it's like slow down.
Unis.
There's slow mo on it. There's multiple slow mo videos of him, bro. Are you sure? Have you checked those out? Are you sure?
It's a national champion, man.
Oh my god!
How about win?
So is Tim Tebow, 2-time. Good lord,
Tim Tebow, Mr. Ohio.
Who cares about Ohio?
Is Tim Tebow the son of a coach?
Tim Tebow is the son of Florida, is what he is. Jacksonville, Florida's greatest product, baby. Ponte Vedra. Let's go, Timmy. Hopefully, I see him next year, man. I'm trying to see him at a Gator game. I think I would tear up if I saw Tim Tebow. Like I think I would. I think there'd be tears in my eyes.
You think that happens? You think people actually went up at him like, "My God, Tim, you changed my life.
Changed my life." I was a Hindu kid with John 3:15 on my face, bro. Like,
it was 3:16
for me.
It's 3:16.
3:16. I don't know, bro. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. What do you do? I just saw TV, bro. And then I also had, like, back in the day, they didn't make jerseys with names, right? Like they would
had a 15.
So I put it with the electric tape. That's what I use for the eye black too. Is I would put electric tape on my face. I also put electric tape on the back of my jersey, and I built out the number and the name, so it said Tebow on the jersey, bro. Like, y'all don't understand. I lived this shit, bro. This was serious to me. So yeah, I think people would do that, Quell. I think people would go up to Tim Tebow and be like, you changed my life. I'm who I am.
There wasn't a team that played harder that season the rest of the year than you guys, and there wasn't a player that played harder for the rest of the season than you. And oh my gosh, Tim.
I never forget the Ole Miss loss, bro. You made it worth it, Tim. You made it worth it. You kept that promise.
That speech was cold, dog.
Bro. I had it on like it was a poster, and it had like the speech on one side, and then like Tebow like with the paint and everything like from FSU like all over him on that side, and it was just that was sick, bro. That was my motivation.
But then college football, I'm gonna play that speech. That's how you.
And then he capped it off. He capped it off with "God bless" and then walked off.
God bless and left.
God-fearing man, God-fearing man, bro. That is the ideal quarterback right there, Timmy. And who did he play with? Haven't gotten there on this pod. Who did he play with? Significant players? Percy Harvin?
A couple of guys, a couple killers.
Oh, wait, side note. Me and Tim Tebow share the same birthday.
Oh, you
August 14th.
That's all I wanted, bro.
Tebow on your birthday?
What you're beginning of August, right?
August 14th. Same
August
day.
14th. Bro, if I had just held on for 2 more weeks, could have had the same birthday as Tim Tebow.
Man, it's a sicko.
If I had the same birthday as Tim Tebow, that would have meant I would have gone to Florida and played quarterback, right? Like, Peter, I don't know what you did wrong for it to not work out like that, but like that all comes.
And you were right up the street.
You could have just made it there if you just like
dedicated your life. My measurables work. I was closer to White Pat than Tim Tebow. He wasn't Pat White because Pat White was special, but
But watch this. Watch the segue though.
Never.
Watch the segue though. Watch the segue. You know whose birthday is a week before mine though?
Oh my God, no more. Oh my God, dude, we
need to get some background music with every time we have the Jalen Hurts conversation. It's that what's that dude name?
We're gonna be the Jalen Hurts eating pod, bro. That's what this is. It's
almost called him Old Spice. Spice
Spice Adams.
Yeah, Spice Adams. He'd be like, every time we say Jalen Hurts, or every time he say Jalen Hurts, that's what needs to pop up. Because Jalen Hurts in the conversation. Give it another nice little slow background music.
We're not beating the Jalen Hurts allegations for this pod. We just
I don't care.
No. We can be. This is we're broaching on eating. On eating territory, bro. It's July. Hassan Goodman's opinion does not matter. Yeah, you heard me, Philly Gator. I'm the same as you, bro. My Wi-Fi is called the Philly Gators.
It is. I can vouch.
I'm sick of it, bro. I'm sick of it. Stop it. Delete your Twitter, Hassan. Stop it. And then Peter,
support us.
DNI, I see that on Twitter a lot. Do not interact.
Hey,
DNI.
Like I said,
telling you not to interact. You might need to have an intervention.
I got rage baited.
Dude, it just
but bro. I didn't say anything. I didn't. He added me.
Oh, I know.
I didn't say nothing.
He knows he's gonna get this reaction. That's my point.
I was about to say how you get rage baited.
I get rage baited by random people. You get rage baited by one person.
MVP is beyond me, but you're supposed to do the rage baiting, and somehow you ended up on the other end of the spectrum.
He added you because he knows. He knows. That was the funniest part. I went through the conversation. I was
probably was sitting next to somebody. I was like, watch this.
Watch this.
I was just like, bro, like, I'm not even seeing Jalen Hurts discourse anywhere else. It wasn't from anything else. Everywhere. It was just him. It was him just
everywhere. You need to go scroll some more.
What are they talking about? What the hell is there to talk about right now?
Since what's that name? It wasn't Jeremy Fowler. Who was it? It's some guy from ESPN released.
Does he have fantasy next to his name?
Nah. He just released I don't know. He
I
went
thought
into a
it
whole
was
little
it was
spiel.
like wasn't it like a list from all the executives and coaches
Yeah,
or something like that in the
executive
league?
coaches,
Yeah.
scouts, all that.
But
And
didn't y'all assume that this was gonna happen, bro? Like, can we just be realistic about
I
this for a
mean,
second?
yeah,
Like,
but it's
it
so
wasn't a
easy to get rage
statistically,
baited, bro, when
it
you
wasn't
look
a
at the
statistically
list.
best season by any shot, but he just did the things that needed to win. And
But look
anytime
at
you
the
do those
list.
things, you're gonna be discounted.
But look at the list.
Anytime guys sacrifice what they can do, it's for clicks. It's for
But
clicks.
look at the bro. That John had Jared Goff in the top 10. Jared
Dude.
Goff was in front of Jalen Hurts.
Again, but that's my point. Why even interact with that? Like, obviously it's rage bait. It's clearly because they know they're going to get a reaction out of you guys. Jared Goff, the guy who listen, he has turned his career around. There's no question. But the guy who hasn't made it past the NFC Championship or the divisional round, he hasn't made it to the.
Hey, Jared Goff has a Super Bowl appearance to his name, man.
On the Lions,
because of Sean McVay.
Yeah, well, but my point is like,
what has Sean McVay done outside of that 1 year since?
We can't start that conversation because then they have the conversation about us. We're all at 1 year right now. So let's give us one more year and then we can get back to this conversation. But my point is like, dude, everybody knows. Like, if you're really gonna go start a team, you're gonna go take 32-year-old Jared Goff. Really? No. It's because people are stupid. They want to make you mad.
They put Jaden Daniels in the top 5 after one season.
And what's
which
gonna
I get it. Jaden's a good quarterback.
They put Lamar Jackson at 4.
And you know who they put at 3? Joe Burrow.
Again, it's just they did the people who people think are cool, dude. They went after. That's what these articles are. That's why I just like that. I think that's why I'm just.
It's the only reason I gave so much pushback and I argue so hard against it is because when you look at the rest of the list, they are well thought out lists. Like, they are legitimate arguments behind everything that you're saying. And then you get the quarterback, and it's like, right? Are you serious?
But that's my point. The quarterback discourse for the league is beyond broken, bro. It's like that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, dude, everything else we're able to evaluate pretty objectively. The AJ Brown discourse, for example, right? Like, people are talking about, like, you know, AJ, Jamar, and who else was
man.
Huh?
I say, come on, man.
I know I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Justin, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the three of them, they're talking about it.
Get himself with a number one receiver or two. He act like he can't remember the brother's name.
Yeah, I got 2 of them, bro. I got 2 of them. I got no use for what year was that? 2019, boy. I got no use for him. I got no use. I'm good, dude. I have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. But my point is like, we're having actual conversation about that, right? Where it's like, hey, Justin Jefferson is really good, but like, if we're looking at drop rate and like all these different types of like more advanced metrics, AJ Brown is in that conversation, and people are able to at least understand like, oh, okay, AJ Brown is a lot better than I thought. If you try to have that same conversation about a quarterback, people's brains are broken. And I think, and this is my personal opinion, I think it's just because people get connected to quarterbacks in the same way that we were just talking about how, like, oh, we love Jalen Hurts. Teams, Bengals fans love Joe Burrow, and people within the league love their certain quarterbacks, and people have their initial thoughts from the draft, and then, you know, you're not going to watch every player's every game, right? And so then you have a couple of games that you've watched every now and then they put together these lists, and they're bullshit because they're not paying attention to growth, they're not paying attention to actual results, and that's why I just think it's like, okay, great. The reason I honestly get tired of it is just because I know it's just going to disparage Jalen, right? Like, what even is the point in interacting with that? Because we know what it's going to come down to. The complaints that they have about Jalen are things he's addressed already. And if you've watched his games, then you would know that he's not doing those things. But they're not going to, if they won't do the bare minimum of watching the film and like actually giving honest analysis, then they don't deserve my time. That's where I'm at. Because at this point, last year was a different story, because it was like, look, he made it to the Super Bowl, he lost. I didn't know if he would make it back. I had the Dan Marino thing in my head from my dad, just like, you know, putting generational trauma from football on me, and like, you never know if you're gonna make it back, son. You never know. But we got a ring now, bro. He has 2 Super Bowl appearances and a ring, and 2 of the best performances in the Super Bowl ever. I don't care. Make as many lists as you want. Joe Cool's only been once, and he lost.
Last point for me before we get out of here. I think the reason I myself get so worked up about it, number one, because I'm a huge Jalen fan, but too, just because the goalposts keep moving, bro. Like,
Constantly.
what more does this dude have to do to get respect, bro? Like, winning a Super Bowl was the deciding factor on elite quarterback or non-elite quarterback forever until Jalen Hurts did it, right? And now it's like, oh, well, he doesn't do this. Well, he doesn't do that. I know it. You guys know it. Most of the national media knows it. Jalen Hurts is among the NFL's elite at the quarterback position, right? He's outplayed the consensus top guy twice in the Super Bowl and beat him once, right? And so this notion that he's just along for the ride or he doesn't actively contribute to their success, in the words of Nick Sirianni, bro, it's BS, man. It's BS.
Just
and
look
it's
at
like,
what his teammates say.
Yeah. At every step of the way, the dude's been scrutinized and criticized, right? I just want the dude to get his respect, man. But
he's not gonna, and that's the conversation we've had. Is remember, like we talked about this right after the Super Bowl. If I'm not mixing up my times, but
you're right.
Like even with multiple Super Bowls, Brady was still getting hate, bro. I was hating on Brady. I was like, Aaron Rodgers is better. It doesn't matter how many rings he's got. Aaron Rodgers can do this, and that. Peyton Manning, anybody
doesn't play football like a real quarterback.
Exactly. But like, dude, winning, like when you win, people are gonna hate you. And that's really what it comes down to. And you just need to understand that. Like, and to me, I'm just thankful for it, bro. The hate gives me power.
That means you're doing something right.
And that's really what it comes down to, bro. It's like, hey, sorry we're winning, and it's not the way that you want it to be. The league is literally trying to outlaw plays that we've come up with because we're too unstoppable. For me, I can just sit here and laugh at them, bro, because it's laughable. It's sad. That's really what it is. It's like you guys are afraid of being beat by people who are just stronger than you and better than you. Sorry you didn't see it before. You know, some of these guys are just always going to be doubted, and I also think that gives Jalen Hurts a superpower.
Well, I got the answers I was looking for. Yeah, that was a fast response. He's not going back to Texas A&M.
Oh, did it just come out or something?
Yeah.
What did they say?
He's not going back to Texas.
So is he signing? Like, but
nah, the coach. He spoke about it.
Publicly. Oh, A&M coach spoke about it.
Yeah.
So he's probably just staying in shape. I don't know, man. This is weird. What happens if he doesn't sign? I guess this will be something for next pod that we can do some research into. Of like, hey, if he's not allowed back at Texas A&M, can he go back to college, play in another team, transfer portal, or like does he just sit out and then try to go into the draft again next year? And how does that affect you in the draft? You know, you have first round talent, but you didn't sign a contract. Like, where do you get drafted on a redraft? It's
what happens if the Bengals draft you again?
Where they just keep drafting him just over and over again every single year. They actually just trade up to number 1 and just keep grabbing him so nobody else can grab him. They're like, no. We're not letting this guy get this. We're not letting him get it on us.
Hey, yo, that's crazy, bro.
Get your head out of the gutter. God damn it, Pierre.
Yo, that was
obscure, bro. That was obscure. Jesus. He's filthy, man.
But all right.
Philly Blitz does not take responsibility for that comment, man.
But all right, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you to all 90 of you who tapped in. We're going to release this as a pod tomorrow. So on whichever podcast streaming platform you're listening on after the stream, please leave us a like and a review, rate us 5 stars, all of those things. We'll be back next week. Training camp starts. We're going to have real ball talk. Excited, man.
And love your favorite players, man. Enjoy the sport. Enjoy the journey. That's part of it.
Be a fan.
It's not just about the field. Bro, we like sports because of the drama. Accept it. Love it.
It's entertainment.
Soap opera. Anyways, go Birds and go Sixers, baby. We're back. Like that, Maximus? Yeah.
Go Birds.
Parth. Next time, Pierre, you got to hit like Razor Ramon. Like, hey, Parth. Hey, yo. Go Birds, baby.
Go Birds, man.